Hi Reddit longtime lurker first time poster. Before I tell my story, I just want to say that I am in no way making excuses for my actions. I am 100% in the wrong. I just want the whole story told so I can get the best advice. So I 34 million cheated on my wife 33F of 7 years with a coworker 27F. We'll call her A. My story starts at the end of 2020 when my wife and I were involved in a car accident that ended up with her suffering a dislocated shoulder. After the accident, the months of her recovery caused serious financial strain on us. She ended up losing her job. For most of 2021, we were living paycheck to paycheck and feeling the stress that brings to a relationship. By the end of 2021, she was fully recovered and returned to work, albeit at a much lower salary. In early 2022, we refinanced our house to manage our lower joint income better and reduce stress. Everything started looking up, we were communicating better, intimacy was returning to normal, and overall we were bonding as a couple. Then interest rates started to skyrocket, and we were on a variable rate mortgage. By the end of 2022, our household expenses had increased by over $2,500 per month. We ended up being worse off than the months she wasn't working. In late 2022, I started a new job that brought our household income up to what we needed to get by, but not a lot more. Through 2023, I was working 80 hours per week without travel to stay afloat. As you can imagine, the long hours and reduced time at home started to take its toll on our relationship. Communication was breaking down, resentment building on both sides, intimacy failing. In October of 2023, my company was taking over a major logistics contract. I was asked to head the field training, and A was in charge of office training. The office that was going to head the contract was in a city 4 hours from where I lived, so A and I would be traveling weekly but not working directly with each other on a daily basis. The takeover would finish by year end, so roughly 3 months of weekly travel but home on weekends. Obviously, this wouldn't help my situation at home, but the bonus and salary increase at completion would greatly help the financial stress. At this time, that was the main cause of my relationship problems. So A and I began working together, keeping a very professional relationship, email contact only after working hours and weekends. I kept an open phone policy with my wife. She had all passwords to email accounts and messaging apps. For the most part, everything was going well. A and I were in a very professional working relationship, and the training was going faster than expected. One night, about a week before the training was due to wrap up, I went back to my hotel room after work and had a FaceTime call with my wife. We ended up getting into a massive fight that ended with her hanging up and me leaving to go to the hotel restaurant/bar. When I got to the bar, I ordered a double Jack and Coke and finished that within 15 minutes, 20 mins, and ordered a second, then a third within the hour. Around 7, A came down to order dinner and saw me at my table and came over and started talking. She asked if she could join me at my table for a minute, as she wanted to go over a couple of things for the following day. I said yes, and I was about to order dinner and we could eat together and discuss work. I ordered my fourth drink, still doubles, and a steak dinner, and ordered wine. As we talked and ate, she could tell something was off with me. As I finished ordering my sixth drink, she asked if I was okay. Up until this point, we kept our conversations very professional. I'm also not one to discuss personal matters with coworkers, especially female coworkers. But I guess being tipsy and angry, I decided to open up about the issues in my marriage and the fight I had with my wife before coming down to dinner. Opened up to me that she had recently split with her boyfriend because he couldn't handle her work schedule any longer. We both continued talking and ordered another round. Around 11 at night, we paid our bills and headed to the elevators. We were staying on the same floor, And as we were heading to our rooms, I said she wouldn't mind talking a little while longer. I said I had the suite with a sitting room and whiskey in my room. I know this was stupid, but I can't change it now. We go into my room and I make us each a drink and we continue talking. At this point there is chemistry between us, but I was too tipsy to register or care. I got up to make another round and I went to use the washroom. When I left the washroom, she walked up to me and got very close and kissed me. I was frozen for a second and she kissed me again, this time very patiently. And before I knew it, we were heading to the bed with clothes coming off. I woke up the next morning with a pounding head and A was still asleep in my bed, and the memories of the night before came flooding back. I immediately felt guilt and shame and regret for the previous night. I jumped in the shower and threw up. I knocked on the door and said she was returning to her room to get ready for the day. I told her I would see her at the office. I got out of the shower and made sure I had left my room, and I called my wife. When she answered the phone, I apologized for the fight the previous evening and told her I had to confess something to her. I told her what happened with A and asked if she wanted me to go stay at my parents' for the weekend. She was furious, to say the least, and said she didn't care what I did as she was going to stay with her sister. She broke down crying, called me an a-hole, and hung up the phone. I went to work and tried to get through my day as best I could, but the guilt was eating me alive, and I ended up leaving early and driving the 4 hours home. When I got home, I was surprised to see my wife's car still in the driveway. I went into the house and found her sobbing on couch with the dogs. When she saw me, she got up and gave me a hug, then broke down and ugly cried, asking how I could do it. I'm not going to lie, my heart broke at the sight of her, and all the regret from the night before made me break down with her. I apologized over and over and told her I would answer any questions she has, and I understood if she could never forgive me. We spent the weekend in the house talking, fighting, and crying. It's been about 2 months since, and we are still together working through our issues. We started couples therapy about 6 weeks ago. So far, my wife has made it clear that she wants to stay in the marriage. Her reasoning is it was not an ongoing affair, and I owned up to my mistake immediately and on my own accord. As much as I want the marriage to continue, I have my doubts. I love her with everything I have, and I'm disgusted with myself for putting myself in the situation I did. My concern is what happens if she can get over it now, but 5 minutes, 10 years down the road, life triggers bad memories, and she decides to walk then. Or is our relationship going to always be one of doubt and trust issues on her side? Asking for advice from internet strangers, as we have kept this quiet and not told any friends or family. I have been NC with A since the ONS, and she has taken over the office we were training out of, so I will have little to no interactions with her moving forward. Before my wife and I even went into MC, we put a couple things in place to help her. 1, tracking app on my phone and access to all accounts and messenger apps. 2, I on my own choice have decided to do a dry year at least. I've never had problems with alcohol, however my decision to turn to it to the level I did after a fight has me concerned moving forward. So I'm taking at least a year to have personal counseling, maybe AA, and take it from there. 3, the financial stress in 2021 was bad, but we still had savings. The big stress came in 2022 when the interest rates and inflation skyrocketed, almost tripling our monthly living costs to the point we were in the red by $1,200 per month until I started my new job at the end of 2022. 2023 was a year of long hours to stay afloat and ride out the year until we could get back onto a fixed-rate mortgage or be in a position to sell our house. On to the update. We had MC last night, and I brought up my fears to my wife. She understands my fears and has similar ones herself. However, she feels that with the amount of stress we've been under in the last few years, since the accident and we didn't split already shows, we have the strength in our marriage to work through anything. I do agree with her on that point. Her next point, however, is taking some time to adjust to. She feels that this wasn't just sex, but a form of SA on A's part. My wife says I'm in the wrong for having a come into my room and to have as much to drink as I did. But she knows I'm a social drunk. I'm the guy that is friendly with everybody and has 5 new best friends and after-party invites after a night out. So me inviting A into my room isn't out of the norm for me on a social level. Her thoughts on the SA angle is, I saw me down 4 drinks with her at dinner, and there was 2 empty glasses on my table when she sat down, and I had 1 more with her in the room before she came on to me, so for sure she knew I had 7 drinks she could confirm. I only had 2 glasses of wine with dinner in a 4-hour window, then 1 mixed drink with me in my room before coming on to me. My wife feels that there is no way A had more than a buzz where I would have clearly drunk, so while I'm not blameless, but there is enough reason to call this a form of SA. Our MC agreed with my wife that there is a case to be made. So now I'm processing this as I just viewed this encounter as a drunken fuck up and I'm to blame. Does anyone have thoughts on this? My wife has been a godsend. With MC, we have come to an understanding that while my actions that night were wrong and on me, the bigger issue in our marriage is how we handled the relationship during the last couple years that led to the ongoing resentment, dead bedroom, and constant small and large fights. So moving forward, we want to work with our MC to build better communication and coping skills within the marriage, and outside MC, start dating each other and reconnecting down to the basics and rebuild from there. Story 2, I went through a crazy life transition after finding out about my ex-wife's affair. I had felt so trapped or alone for a long time. I found it wasn't because I was doing the wrong things, but because I wasn't really doing anything at all. When you get trapped by the mirrors of everyone and everything around you, the world reflects what it wants you to see, or at least what you want to see. And in doing so, every individual around you is trapped by these same mirrors. When you work out and feel the burn after, or you have a hard day at work and take out your frustration on someone that didn't deserve it, it is because you are smashing one of your mirrors. Every mirror is a small death or change as you make the harder, right decisions. The ones you feel in your gut every day but can't even notice it because you are so fogged by what we in society have deemed normal, or that every person should live their truth. But in reality, your truth is whatever linear path social media or societal norms have pushed you in. You are no different than every person you hate and every person that cheated you. It is all just what we feel is right. No one wants to be a cheater. No one wants to be a liar. But we all do what we can to make ourselves happy, as that's what matters and is what is shown to everyone to believe we are a society of individuals. When we are no different from any species that loves, our natural childish instinct is to only do 2 things: learn and grow. When did you stop that? When did someone tell you you couldn't learn that or do that? You did. Not because your mom told you or your wife asked for help, because you didn't do what they needed. They didn't want you to mop the fucking floor or go to the store for them. They wanted you to look them in the eyes and tell them things no one else ever could. And you think, I'm not like that, I'm a man. Well then grow up and be a man. Because a man has one job to do: cry for his wife. Cry for his child, cry for himself. Men are supposed to be strong. Men are supposed to cry so that they don't have to, feel strong and be the leader you couldn't. Because every human has a role. Man, woman, child, women. Leaders and warriors of the family, they will die to protect their young, and they will guide the man to victory as she wears his crest on her shoulder. Women are the cornerstone and rock in every man's life, and men need to repay them in respect and safety. Men, weak but courageous, stupid but thoughtful, followers of children, students of women. Men aren't supposed to go to work, go to school, be a man. They are supposed to be the creative upbringing of everyone's beautiful, real, true mirrors. The music, the art, the movies, the politics, The religion, the myths, the emotions, the fog, the mirrors, it is all fake. Emotions are just projections of our failings, and showing any emotion other than your real smile and happiness is fake. Obviously, we live in an imperfect world, so you will always have some sort of emotion, as everyone who hasn't smashed all their mirrors will project a manipulated reality of how they view the world, when it might not truly be the case. This is why you project back with an emotion, so emotions are just something someone thought of one day. They are feelings, not emotions, feelings like your gut. Really, truly, your gut fucking knows when you are making an immoral decision. And if you feel that fucking sick feeling in your stomach after 5, 10, 25 years, it is because your body is saying wake the fuck up. Go and smash the mirror so you can move on. Say what you need to say, do what you need to do. Truly, not what you think is right. What you know in your heart and gut is right, obviously never overstepping boundaries, as the whole message is kindness. And every person is going through the same shit, just in their own path. Their past experiences and literally life around them has molded them into a small niche in humanity. And humanity is what is wrong, not your ex-wife or fucked up parents. And not you, it is all set up so that you always have to search. You are already free, you just need to fucking stand up and start working out or showing up or being you. The one you see in every movie you watch. The one you hear on the radio all day at work. The one you see in your dad. The good memories, this was the real him too. It's all there, we just are looking way too high for anyone to see. I went down to the bottom and smashed every mirror in my life. My job smashed, my wife smashed, my family smashed. My best friend I flew to see, smashed. Everyone let me down or couldn't even let me in enough to feel like I could say what I wanted, so I got fucking shredded, not by going to the fucking gym, but by doing handstands and calisthenics, and skateboarding and longboarding, and doing and anything that has flow, rhythm, movement, stretch, bend, and push. Push fucking so hard you feel every muscle pulse in your body. Then once you feel fucking strong, your mind will adapt too. It will get stronger, quicker, and develop thoughts and creativity you have never felt before. Or have you, right, when you were fucking 12 before your mom said grow up, or before your teacher isolated you in the corner, and you made the decision that was easiest, safest. That weird kid in school that acted out and we all thought was weird and not normal. He was right. His mind might not have been the smartest, but his feelings and body told him he was trapped in a world that didn't see him. The way you fucking feel right now, so fucking let it out. Let out your kindness. You don't have to be fucking famous or rich to spread the wealth. Go to the weed store and pick up a pack of 10 joints for 20 bucks and hand out 3 to people that need it on your way to work. Weed isn't the gateway, it is the escape. Everyone goes in every path, but weed allows all the horrors of your mind to decompress. This is why it can be seen as a gateway, as the feeling can be enhanced by further drugs. But you literally don't need anything else. Weed allows you to slow down your memories and thoughts. Pick what is good and bad and sort through what really matters. You will find at the core it is not you that matters, it is them. Every person in your fucking life, your ex-cheating wife, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your friends, your job, the CEO, Trump, Elon Musk. I challenged every one of these with a final word or plan on how every person can change their life for the better. Because I did not send these because I thought that they would be read or that I would be made rich. Because there is no plan, and the only way that you can be happy is through one thing. I learned it in fucking kindergarten and it stuck with me to this day. Do unto others as you would have done unto you, or something like that. But just don't do things you wouldn't want done to you. And you've been doing that right. Wrong. You've been doing what you thought your mom or your dad or your wife or your kid or your manager or the grocery clerk wanted. You have just been moving and pushing through life. You need to slow down, take in every piece of your surroundings and most importantly the people. If your job is too toxic of an environment or a corporation that doesn't have proper systems in place, and you are financially stable enough or able to get another job at something you feel better about. Leave it, challenge everyone, everything, but not in battle or fighting, but in passion and kindness. Every move is swift and strong. Say what you need or think about every way the conversation could go and pick the way you feel the shittiest about. The one your gut says no to. Your gut tells you when the friction can cause a problem, and you will run into every problem. But you need to stay strong and be present and be good at what you're doing. Speed up, get better. Get so good you say, fuck you, if you don't like my ideas, I'll give them to someone that cares. Because that is how it is supposed to feel. We're supposed to be family away from family, brothers. Talking and going for beers. Instead, we all lump in our trucks and head back to the wife and kids sigh. We need to grow up and get real and feel. Say fuck off, say I want this. Say this is what I need, or I'm going to go and find a more positive person or place to get it from. Obviously not a close person or love. For them you have to fight. Fight hard, fight them. Fight for them, fight for their truth. Through my journey of coping and finding a way to get my wife to love me again, I ended up figuring out a blueprint and plan to save humanity and become interplanetary through kindness instead of escaping this burning shithole of death and war we have going on here. I have submitted my truth and told every person in my life who I am. I can look any man in the face and he will look at the ground because I know something he doesn't. I've done something he hasn't. I've broken every mirror in my life and reverted back into the perfect human. A child. I follow my son's footsteps every day. He is 2. And when he says I want to go biking, Dad, I don't just go fucking biking. I bought a skateboard and said I'm gonna learn too. I went to the store with him, and after he's seen me greet every person by truly looking at them and meaning hello, that changed him in a way. Every person we come across, he looks at them and says hi. And if they do not say hi, he says hi again. Then they are met by me standing behind him, his dad, the one that taught him that every person mattered. That he truly mattered in a world of mirrors and fog. I got low enough to see a shimmer through my son's eye and reached out for him to pull me down further. I used him as my tool of kindness, my spitting image. My strong, muscular, athletic, courageous, kind, loving, and amazingly smart son was able to be his true self because I started allowing him. I stood up and starting taking the heat. I started fighting back. Until it was me and him, laying on the ground in my basement, as I wept like a baby, sobbing on my carpet of my $15,000 gaming room. None of it fucking mattered, just me and my fucking son, and the trees, the water, the breeze, the music, the laughter, the sounds of people. The sounds of things people made, the art, the people, the life, it's all out there, outside your window or down the road. All you have to do is walk in, alone, with a nice content smile. And say, hi, I'm just wondering if I could get a booth over there. And then every contact after this moment is met with kindness and truth. Say thank you, but look in her eyes and say thank you. Kindly, not creepy. Or like you want to fuck her, but like you respect that she is serving you tonight when no one else will. When you take the train home, think happy thoughts. Look at people, smile. Take in the views outside, look around, catch glances. Take glances in longer, study them, what they mean. Every person has their own quirks, and the fun part about life is figuring them out. So get to know your neighbor, your friends, your mom, your dad, your ex-lover if it's still possible. If not, it doesn't matter, and just another person that will just pass by in your life. And then be you, be kind, be true, and be right. This cannot fail if you are true, and you cannot lose if you never fought or lied in the first place. Start over, if you're at the fucking bottom. Good, get physically and mentally strong and become you, become confident. Confident enough to speak your truth, once you feel you. Time will lose value and moments will hold like pictures on your fridge but running through your head. This is how you get rid of those bad thoughts. By being blissfully unaware they happened in the first place. And even seeing them over time, if everything is faced truly. You will see the real person inside, even if they don't. And you will be able to care for them the way they need without feeling like you need or get anything in return. You become children helping children, and that's when you can begin the journey I'm now on, my journey for peace. I have fought every battle, but it is still not done. I am searching for someone, not for someone that I see fit for me, but someone that sees me fit for them. I want them to want me, and want them to see me for who I truly am, and tell me who they truly are. And I know every man deep down only wants that too. So join me on trying to find your peace and whatever your real use passion is, and go get it. Conquer and be your God. Religion is just another concept like therapy made up by humanity to give an outlet or band-aid to problem, but doesn't tell you the truth. Therapy is not about your emotions, it's about feelings. True feelings, the ones you don't feel comfortable saying ever. And religion, we've been following the wrong fucking guy lol. Jesus is the Son. And who is the Father? God. Who is God? Is Jesus magic in the womb? No, idiot. Somebody fucked Mary, somebody had an affair with Mary, and Joseph, one of us, one of the quiet ones, protected her and raised Jesus. The first real man, not Jesus, but Joseph. I wrote my own Gospel of Joseph, as he is the most important but most overlooked man in the book. He raised the spitting image, Jesus, through his perseverance and teaching him what being a real man and kindness was about. And Joseph thought that was enough. But Jesus felt, well, with this power of understanding everyone with kindness. Whatever extent it was back then, I'll be able to bring the people together. So he lied and manipulated, created false mirrors and miracles to get people to believe in his Father's words. God's words, Joseph's words, that is why it failed and why he died. Not because they didn't like what he was doing, but because they didn't like how. They didn't know how, because there was no how. The commandments are a quick mock-up of rules to follow, but they don't know the true core behind them. We're following a 2,000-year-old man's version of life. Jesus may have been smart, but he didn't have what Joseph had. The pain of carrying everyone's burdens like you are now. The pain Jesus felt for the people when he was crucified and reborn, a new, changed, fully feeling man. I'm obviously not religious, and this is just the feelings and beliefs I have. I haven't really got to talk to anyone about them, and my beliefs on religion stem from what I've seen and heard, as I have not read the Bible or really any book for that matter. Just observed and played video games. But I'm ready to learn if anyone wants to talk, and then projecting them on your children but never standing tall enough to let them truly grow. You are the reason your kid is fat. You're the reason your kid is lazy. You're the reason your kid needs a sucky. You're the reason your kid cries, but you're also the reason your kid laughs, and the reason your kid sings. And the reason your kid picks up their favorite toy and says, "Look at me, I'm right here." And you're missing it, stand up, get your kid, go for a walk and start thinking, watching, observing, what do your kids do? Should I be like that at work? If my kid is acting so bad, why? Because you are not truly looking at them and giving them a fucking hug. Hug them, hold them, love them, and be there for them. In any way, say it, say I'm here. If you can be fun, be really fun. If it's serious, get really serious. If you don't have kids and want to leave, fucking do it. And come back to your family, the man you love, the man they love, the man they always loved, the one that was always there, you just never showed them. Peace, love, and kindness. Sorry for the SH peel and hope if you get anything from this. It's literally one thing, be kind, truly. Do everything with passion and effort, and soon you will find no effort in anything. And everything will just feel like trial and error on the path to peace.